I think, Luke, there's a very simple reason. I think for 3 years we've had a lot of drift and dither and indecision about the fundamental questions of what Brexit means. And I campaign for Brexit. I believe in it. I understand that to do it properly, you must come out of the customs union. You must come out of the single market. Otherwise, there's frankly no sense in it. And I think what Brussels will get at long last from me, they will get somebody who has that clarity of vision, which I think will be incredibly welcome to our friends and partners in Brussels as well as in the country. I think we've had a lot of defeatism, a lot of negativity, and I think that the EU will respond now to some real clarity of purpose in the free trade deal that we're going to do.
The question is not about the willingness or desire to get out of the EU by the 31st of October. Whichever way we voted in the referendum, we are Democrats in the Conservative Party. We know the greatest thing about our country as one of the oldest and most robust democracies in the world is that people like Boris and I do what the people tell us to do, and that's why we are going to leave. The question is who has the plan to do it. And if we look at no deal, I don't think there's a huge difference between me and Boris. We're both willing to leave without a deal if that is the only way to leave. But counting on no deal, when you've got MPs in Parliament who are actively trying to block a no-deal Brexit, they succeeded in March, they're trying now, they will try again this autumn. That is the high-risk way of leaving. The low-risk way is to send to Brussels a Prime Minister who can actually negotiate a deal that can get through Parliament. And I've got the detailed plan to do that. I've worked out how I would get my negotiating team to put together a deal that can get through Parliament. I've thought through how we're going to persuade the European Commission to unpick that deal that they've said they won't unpick. I don't say it's going to be easy, but it's not impossible. And if you choose the right person, this can be done.
And I don't think we will carry any conviction with our friends and partners over the Channel unless they look into our eyes and see that we are absolutely determined to come out of the EU on October the 31st, come what may. And that's what I will deliver.
If we have a deal and it needs a few more days to get through Parliament and we haven't got there by the end of October, then I would allow it those extra days. And I see a lady shaking her head here because I don't believe that the people of this country would want in that situation for us to rip up a deal that was just a matter of days away. But there's something else. If you take the view that you will absolutely rip up any deal that you may have at the end of September, however close it is to becoming law, if you took that view, you will encourage all those MPs in Parliament who want to stop us leaving without a deal to bring down the government in a vote of confidence. And so I say very frankly...
Can Mr Johnson respond to that?
Yeah, no, I will, but I just make my point. If you get this wrong, you will end up in an election before Brexit. And the one person who will never, ever deliver Brexit is Jeremy Corbyn. And that would be the most dangerous thing of all.
I'm just anxious that we don't send out a signal to the rest of the EU that we're willing to contemplate another delay. I think it's absolutely absurd. We said on March the 29th that we were going to delay until April the 8th. That turned out then to be a delay of another 6 months. I'm hearing that that Jeremy might delay for a few days. Well, how many days? Is that 3 days? Is that 6 days? You've said you'd be prepared to wait until Christmas. Which Christmas is it? I think that what the EU want and need to know is that this country is robust. This country is self-confident. We're going to come out of the EU on October the 31st. And may I just point out
You've done a good job pointing a lot out. I need to...
point out the legal position. So just very important point, Tom, sorry.
Very quick.
In a nutshell, the legal position is that we do come out. The momentum is with exit on October the 31st unless the UK government actually asks for a further delay and the EU gives us another delay. So let's get on. Let's not go down that madness. Let's avoid that and come out on October the 31st. That's what the people want.
Thank you.
And it is precisely because I will not accept either of those that I think it is dangerous to have that hard deadline that Boris has been talking about. Because if you're saying, as I think Boris, I'm just going to quote those exact words, do or die, come what may, you're going to leave on that date. If Parliament then blocks that, the only thing you can do to keep that promise to the British people is change Parliament, have an election. And I think if we have an election before we've left the European Union, we just need to look at what happened at the Peterborough by-election. We got squeezed by the Brexit party on the right, the Lib Dems on the left. Who came through the middle? The Labour Party. Incredibly dangerous. And all the polls show, it doesn't matter who our next Prime Minister is, it would be the same result. If we have an election before we Brexited, we would have a Labour, Lib Dem, SNP coalition and no Brexit at all.
But I don't want either a second referendum or a general election. But I think that what will increase the risk of a general election, and indeed increase the risk of a Corbyn government, is if we continually kick the can down the road. And I don't know whether you noticed, but at the recent European Parliament elections, our great party, the Conservative Party, scored a staggering 8.8% in the poll because people are totally fed up and they see us failing to get Brexit across the line. They now hear yet again, that we are prepared to dither and drift and delay beyond the deadline of October.
Mr. Johnson, we saw that. We saw the European election results. We followed that one.
I don't think we will easily recover if we delay again.
I'll get that little piece of dandruff.